civil code in the country is the debate that's happening these days. Now, Network 18 has conducted a survey with various findings coming out. I have with me a former Law Secretary of the country, Mr. Pk Malhotra, who would shed light on his views with regards to a uniform civil code in the country and the findings that Network 18 could find out in its survey. So, there are certain findings, as we shared with you as well, with regards to how there is a very high support for a uniform civil code, especially with Muslim women coming in and weighing in their support for a uniform civil code in the country. How do you see this issue, first of all, and what are your comments on the findings that we have?
Well, I have seen your findings that I'm happy that most of the elite women, or rather I will say educated women, not elite women, educated Muslim women are supporting the UCC. Although the format or the mode in which the UCC will be coming is not yet clear, but the fact remains that the citizens of this country, to whatever religion they may be belonging, they want that for the enforcement of their fundamental rights, more particularly there should be no discrimination with regard to inheritance, succession, marriage, in all the religions, that there should be a uniform law on that. So this is only one part of the UCC. UCC may contain many other things about which we are not aware, and we will come to know about it only when a draft comes before us. But whatever discussion has been so far going on, that because of certain religious practices which are prevalent in the personal laws of some of the communities, maybe Christians, maybe Parsis, maybe Muslims or other communities, there should be uniformity so that they can be applied across all lines to all women and children in this country. And they inherit the same kind of rights. And the preamble of the Indian Constitution also talks of equality. When you are talking of equality, then equality has to be with regard to your rights also. So I think I'm very happy with the kind of finding which your channel has brought. And I'm also happy, and I can share with you that this is not that for the first time that women or the educated women are coming in support of this kind of reforms. Because if I talk about the triple talaq, even after the judgment on triple talaq also, there were many women activists who have supported it and said that only those people who are religious fanatic, they want to continue with the old system. But because of the social and economic changes which have taken place in the country, and because of the economic well-being of the women and the children coming to the forefront, they all are looking for this kind of reforms.
So you had been the Law Secretary of the country, you've remained at the helm of the policy formation. According to you, in a country as diverse as ours, how difficult it is to bring a uniform civil code? We are seeing how many religious groups, especially AIM, PLB or various other Jamiyat, are opposing a uniform civil code in the country, saying that it's a hit to the Sharia law. How do you think that a uniform civil code is possible in this country or not?
See, the mandate for having a uniform civil code is provided by the Constitution itself, which was adopted by our country in 1950. Today we are in 2023. Enough time have been given to the people to understand it, and it's not because we are a secular country. Some of the religious practices are even protected by our Constitution under the Fundamental Rights chapter. So now a situation has come because of the social and economic growth which has taken place in the country. If there is a parity needed for enforcement of fundamental right, more particularly in respect of those who have been sidelined so far for the enforcement of their fundamental right, then a due thought should be given to it. Therefore, the present government in its manifesto of 2014 as well as in 2019 has categorically said that we will bring uniform civil code. And in that direction, a reference was made to the Law Commission, 20th Law Commission in 2016, asking them to work on the uniform civil code. That Law Commission did some work under the chairmanship of Justice B.S. Chauhan, had done some work. However, it could not submit a full-fledged report. What it did on the day of its winding up, that is 31st of August 2018, it gave a consultation paper. But it gave a consultation paper because it could not convert it into a full-fledged report. But those who have gone through this consultation paper will find that all the contours of the civil code have been discussed and deliberated in it. And after coming to after deliberating on all these issues, the commission came to the conclusion that probably time is still not ripe, some more debate and discussion is needed. Now the 22nd Law Commission has again come out with a similar kind of proposal, and this Law Commission has again invited comments from the public. Once those views are there, I understand even a parliamentary standing committee of the Ministry of Law and Justice also has deliberated on the issue and consulted the officers of the Law Ministry and other stakeholders, including the Law Commission and the members of the Law Commission, which is working on the UCC in Uttaranchal. Based on that, probably the present Law Commission want to come out with a full-fledged report. And I will be very happy in case this kind of proposal is taken up. And the debate which has been going on so far, it makes it very clear that it is not that the government is going to implement uniform civil code, bringing parity in all personal law and other matters in one go. Government is planning to do it in a step-by-step manner. They won't be doing it in one day. So I think the time is ripe when we should consider this particular aspect and see that the women who have been differentiated in our society simply because of certain religious practices should get their due right, fundamental rights, which are enshrined in the Constitution of India. Take for example, even under the Hindus also. There was earlier certain religious practices or practices prevalent in the Hindus, among the Hindus. Sati Pratha, child marriage. Law was passed and they were abolished. Similarly, now the time has come, positions like triple talaq or no right in the inheritance of the property or children being stopped from being adopted under certain communities. If there is a need in the society as on today because of the social and economic development which has taken place, and this directive principle also needs to be implemented, because with the implementation of this directive principle of bringing a uniform civil code, we will in fact be promoting the fundamental rights, more particularly of the women and the children.
So, we were talking about the Law Commission, that 21st Law Commission, which had said that, it's not the right time. So, do you believe that since now things have changed, we have economically grown since the last commission gave its report, is it the right time to bring a UCC in the country?
Well, as I told you earlier, it's not that the matter was not deliberated. Matter was fully deliberated by the then Law Commission, and it had came out with a consultation paper. It didn't submit any report to the government. I think the present Law Commission want to move a step further, that on the basis of work which has been done by the earlier Law Commission and the further input which it will be getting from various sections of the society, including the minority communities, it will give a full-fledged report to the government. Then obviously the government will have another opportunity to discuss it among all the stakeholders, and only then the question of introducing a bill in the parliament will be considered. As I earlier said, it's not that the UCC is going to be implemented in one go. It has to be step by step. One example which I generally give is that once you are implementing UCC, there are certain practices which will be uniformly applicable to all the religious communities also. Take for example, in the case of marriage, in Muslim, under the Muslim law, it is nikah which is performed as per the religious practices. For the Hindus, it is the saptapati which is performed as per the Hindu rites. Now, after performing these rituals, if the UCC is making a provision that for acquiring certain rights and certain obligations under the law, under the UCC, once the marriage is performed as per religious rites, it must be registered with the registrar of marriages, and only then certain rights and obligations will flow. I don't see anything wrong in that. You have to take the first step to go to the top of the ladder. So this will be a first step in the right direction. And once that is taken, maybe on the successful implementation of the initial stages of the UCC, we can move further and go forward to see that in all communities, same kind of practices are adopted, not only in the enforcement of personal law, but in other areas also.